Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Okay, I will be talking about email marketing, and especially on Joomla. And my name is Adrien, and I'm part of the Asiba company. It's a French company, and we are developing extension, 100% Joomla extension. And our two main extensions are AC mailing and AC SMS. Who knows AC mailing? Everybody, yeah. I will not be talking about AC mailing. No, sorry. But if you have any question, do not hesitate to come to me, ask me question. I'm happy to talk. I will be here for the whole day. So, yeah. But let's do time travel first and talk about what was emailing in 2000. I don't know if you remember 2000, it was 15 years ago, and you were happy to receive emails. Yes, that was 15 years ago. You received just a few emails. It was not the beginning, but almost. And people were happy. And when you do a marketing campaign in 2000, the rules was the more you send, the more you will get results. So we're like sending thousands of emails, and you say, yeah, we'll get results. People will click on my email and come back to my website. So I don't know if you do this kind of thing in Poland. You know, you have a balloon, and children write their address on it. And you drop the balloon? No, you don't do that? Alright, maybe it's a French stupid thing, I don't know, but sometimes you have thousands of children and they have a balloon, they have the address on it, and they drop it, and there are thousands and thousands of balloons in the sky, and you hope that maybe someone will answer you. Never happened. Seriously. But that was a bit emailing in 2000. But things changed. Things change a lot, and now you receive a lot of emails, and you don't like them. So, mail clients adapted their software to make sure that the key feature in mail clients is now you will not get spam. Why are you using Gmail? Well, I don't get spam. I love Gmail. That's a key feature. So, email marketers have to change their communication. And what used to work in 2000, sending more and more emails, will not work at all nowadays. In 2015, if you start to send many emails, you will quickly get blocked, blacklisted, and no one will receive anything from you. So you have to change a bit your communication. You have to change the way you communicate to your user, and the best way to do that is to know more about your user. How to know more about your user? Well, let's become friends. BFF, best friend forever. But what's a friend? Why do you have friends? A friend is someone who interests you, who makes you laugh, who tells interesting things. It's someone sexy as well. It's very hard to listen to someone with a big spot on the nose. I don't know if you try, you just look at the spot and you don't care what the people say. So it's also someone who will listen to you. It's not just only a one-way communication, it's two-way communication. It's very important to get back something from your users. But before becoming friends, well, we have a meeting. And on your website, on your Joomla website, the first communication you do with your users when they try to register on your website, they will receive this kind of email. And you know what people say, you have only one chance to make a good first impression? Well, that's not really the first good impression I would like to do to my users. So, how many people already modified this default email in Joomla? No one here? 1, 2, great. There are two ways to do that. And the first one is called Email Beautifuler. It's a small plugin on Joomla that you can install, and they will take the content of the default Joomla emails and put it inside the template, so it looks good. And another one is AC mailing. With AC mailing, you can customize all your Joomla emails as well. And as you can see, I modified the subject to make it more attractive, and I added a big button on it, confirm your account. This big button is very important. It's what we call call to action button. So when the user opens your email, he knows what you want him to do. He doesn't have to think. He just sees a big button, he will click on it, he will not even read it, actually. So that's one of the first rules in email marketing. Each time you do communication to your users, you have a message to give them, and you expect them to do something with it. To click on it, to go somewhere else, to buy something, to update something, this message has to be very clear. And for it to be clear, the best way is to add this big button. It's what we call a call to action. I don't know if you already tried that, but when you are trying to download the software, sometimes you are redirected into several steps and you land on a page where there is a nice download me button on it, and I always click on it, and it's an advertisement, and I'm like, screw up. And I know it, I already tried it, but always I made the mistake because it's my big button, my big call to action. It's working very well. But well, to see this big nice button, you have to open my email. Well, not really, not anymore. For example, Google, recently they implemented the Google Inbox Actions. So you can add button directly next to the subject. So your user, actually, they don't even have to open your email to see this button and to perform the action you want. So this is something we implemented in AC mailing, where you can add call to action directly next to the subject, like confirm your account.
Sorry, but how does it work at other mail clients, not only Gmail?
It doesn't work.
That's not good.
It doesn't work. It's only for Gmail. But maybe later some of them will implement this feature.
How will it display?
Oh, it doesn't display.
At all?
No,
okay.
Not at all. So it's okay. It's just a special option only for the subject, only for Gmail. It's okay.
That's good.
You will not have a bad result. But you're right. For the other my clients, people have to open your email.
Yeah.
There are three main things to make sure people will open your email. Three elements, which are the main one. Why will you open this email and not another one?
The design?
The subject.
No.
Sender, title,
Yes.
and the time.
Sorry?
Sender, title, and the time?
Okay, there are four elements then. Obviously the subject, it's obviously the main thing. If you have an attractive subject or not, it will impact a lot your open rate. The sender information, people start to forget that when you receive a letter, you are interested in who sent it. It's Adrien from AC mailing. It's not just Adrien. Who is Adrien? Who cares? So it's very important to take care of your sender information. The time, yeah, of course. And the fourth one, more and more mail clients will display the few first lines of your emails. So it's just a little preview of your email, but it's important to take care of that and to not have something like click here to display if you don't see my picture, something like that. And this is exactly what newspapers do since years. They take care of the subject. It's interesting because when myself I write a newsletter, I write the subject in the last line. It's the last minute, it's like, what kind of subject will I use? But it's the most important one. So, what's a good subject?
It depends.
It depends, yeah.
Well, one of the most powerful subjects in 2012 was subject hey, but it was sent by Barack Obama himself. And the click rate was, huge.
Thanks to the sender information, yeah. So a good subject is usually something you are interested of. It has to be short, especially when people open their email now on mobile phone, so you can see only the first 50 letters of your subject. It's a good way to make it personal, so insert the user information in your subject. It doesn't have to be the name. It can be someone else he knows or an activity he did. But it has to refer to him personally. Make them laugh. You can also shock your user, insult them. If you start to insult your user in the subject, usually you have a high open rate and then a high complaint rate. But it works. Sorry. So here are three subjects some of our users used. Really. The first one was amazing. Are you stupid at the end or what? And this one got a big open rate and then a big complaint rate, of course. Because when you use something like that, you create an expectation to your user. and your content has to be very good. And it was not. It was, the first line was, oh no, you're not stupid, you opened my email. Yeah, okay. So be careful when you use this kind of thing. You shock your user, you insult them, but you use personal information, so it's working very well, but your content has to be at the same level. The second one was with a meeting website. You had women and men, and you could meet people, and you could create appointments on this website. And so 2 days later, a message was automatically sent to the guy saying, how did it go with Justina? So we use personal information, not my own name, but the name of the person I met. So this kind of message also had a good result. And the third one, a promise is due. Well, it's a translation from French. It looks better in French, I think. But you create an expectation, and people are curious, and they say, okay, I will click on it because what promise? What is due? So, what's a bad subject? I read them every day, like when people write to me and say, hello, adrien.baborier@gmail.com. Hey, come on. Don't use this kind of information. Don't use the email address in your subject. Don't use a false name. People try to take everything before the domain name and add it in the subject. So sometimes you have, hello, Adrien03, doesn't make sense. So if you don't have the right information, don't use it. How to reduce the number of steps. In e-commerce websites, more and more people try to reduce the number of steps because we know that the more steps you have, the more people you will lose during the checkout process. So you have a one-page checkout process. And how can we do that in emails? How can we speed up the process in emails? There is a nice plugin which is called Auto-Login on Joomla, which is a free plugin, and we made an integration with it. So directly in the email, the user can click on it, on a link, and it will be automatically logged on your Joomla website. We use it a lot for our renewal annual service. So people just receive an email saying, hey, your subscription expired, you can click on it to renew it. He clicks on it, he's automatically logged in, and he can do the checkout. It saves a lot of time for our users, because they don't have to, what's my password, where I can find it, and it saves a lot of time for us as well, as management, because we don't have to answer to our users saying, okay, your username is this one, your password is this one, okay. More than 50% of emails are open on mobile device, on different resolutions. So you have to make sure your email looks good on all these devices. So we are creating websites with responsive design. Joomla is one of the first CMS who takes this step. It's the same thing for emails. And I can show you, for example, how you can easily test it on HTML, where on the back end, you can preview your newsletter and just check how it looks like on different resolutions. But it's not only different resolutions, it's also if it looks good or not with or without picture. Why do we do that? Because more than 50% of mail clients will not display picture by default. The user will receive the message and there is a box saying, hey, click here if you know this sender and if you want to display picture from him. So it's important to know that do not send an email with only one picture. It doesn't make sense. Many of your users will receive it and they will see nothing. We talk about personalization in the subject line. It's important to also personalize the content itself. So we have many tools in SMailing to do that, like a conditional display. And for example, we use it when we send our newsletter saying, hey, there is a new release of SMailing, do you want to download it? And we have this call to action to download. But it's a different link if the user has an enterprise subscription or business subscription, or if he's using a free version, or if his subscription expired. So we use a conditional display to add the right button with the right link. So it's not only have the right content, but also to the right person. So what does that mean? Well, for example, if you have an event website and you have thousands of users and you have an event in Gdansk today, you will not send you message saying, hey, there is a big event in Gdansk to Australian people. They don't care. Try to minimize your communication so when the user receives an email from you, he knows it will interest him. If you start to send thousands of emails always saying, hey, we have a new event in New York, in Gdansk, people will get tired of your emails, and so they won't open it anymore. The goal is really to send less emails to your users, but when you send them an email, it's important for them, and they will open it. So it's all about sending the right content to the right user at the right time. At the right time? What does that mean? It depends on the business. Sometimes people say that usually Tuesday morning is the best way to send a communication when it's business to business. When it's business to customers, it's a different time. But my point here is to set up campaigns based on actions the user did. For example, a user created an account on your website and 2 days later you will ask him, hey, how did it go? Did you find what you were looking for? Do you need information? Is everything okay? So more and more in 2015 we changed our communication from mass mailing at the same time to targeted mailing depending on the user actions. It's what we call a follow-up campaign autoresponders. For example, the add-on cart reminder. That's something we set up last year, only 1 year ago actually. We are using HeCashUp, and we have a small plugin to, if the user creates an order and does not confirm it for 24 hours, we will automatically send him an email saying, hey, did you have a problem with our payment system? Do you need some help? That's amazing. That's amazing how people came back to you and say, yeah, actually, yeah, I got a problem. Is there anything I can do? Is there another payment method? People by themselves, they will not get back to you saying there is a problem. So we just say, it doesn't work anyway. And so we divided by 2 the number of unconfirmed orders just because we took 30 minutes to set up this email. Who has an e-commerce website here? Who already has this kind of email? Okay, 50%. Who will have this kind of email next week? Everybody? Yeah.
Does it work only with HeCashUp?
We have it for HeCashUp, we have it for VirtualMart, and I think that's it. When you go into a shop, usually people are welcoming you. A staff is coming to you and saying, hey, are you looking for something? With internet, there is nobody anymore. So it's important that as soon as you can, you start to welcome people to your website. More and more websites do it with the live chat feature. So you have a pop-up saying, hey, do you need anything? I'm there, we can talk. But it's very expensive. So you can just do it the simple way, saying like, when someone registers on the website, you will send it directly an email saying, hey, hello, welcome to our community. A big, nice email with, you can find this information here. If you need anything, just send me an email. And it's very important to then stay aware to receive feedback from your user. For example, like when you have a booking website, like hotels.com or booking.com, they always send you an email a week later when you stay in an apartment, for example. Hey, did you like this hotel? How would you rate it? Why do they do that? Do you really think they care about what you think? No, it's more, you will click on it, you will go back to their website. So maybe you will see something else which will interest you and you will book another destination. So it helps to return the customer to your website. It will obviously grow the number of visits on your website. And the second thing is you will create a review about your journey. And I don't know you, but me, when I'm on a website and I want to buy something, I always look at the number of reviews. Like what people said about this product. Is it a good product or a bad product? And if I have two products in front of me, and one is more expensive, but it has thousands of reviews saying like it's an amazing product, I will buy it. And the same thing, if one product has only 4 out of 5 as a mark, and the next one is 5, but the 4 out of 5 has thousands of reviews, I will trust this one, and I will buy this one. So people will buy things depending on other customer review. So it's all about sending emails at the right time, with the right content, the right person, but at some point you have to let them go. Because even if you do the perfect communication, some people won't like it. And it's not only that let them go, it gives them a way to go away from you. Because if you do not do that, they will click on this is a spam email. And after that, your reputation goes down, and no one else will receive your email because it's going to be blocked by my clients. So it's very important, extremely important, to add an unsubscribe link to your email or to add a way for your users to leave you. And you should take this chance to ask a last question to your user. So take 30 minutes and set up your unsubscribe survey. So when users click on it, click on the unsubscribe link, you have a nice message saying, if you want to share why you leave, we are here to hear from you. You can display some choices. You received too many emails from us, it was not interesting. And please leave a small box so they can write anything they want. And believe me, people are honest. Especially when it comes to leaving you, they say crazy thing about your product, about your company, about your communication, but it's usually the truth and it helps a lot to grow your business. But all of that, everything I just said, doesn't matter if your emails doesn't reach its destination. So I could talk about hours. I could talk for hours about how to deal with spam issues, what spam filters like, they don't like. But instead of that, we try to put all what we knew in a website which is called mail-tester.com, where you can go, where you can test directly your emails, and you will have a result saying, this is good, this is bad, you are blacklisted on this server, you have broken links, spam assassin likes you, your server is well configured or not configured, why? Well, everything we know is inside this service. It's completely integrated to e-mailing, so if you go on the preview page on e-mailing, you can just click one button and you will have the result. But you can also access mail-tester.com to test your newsletter if you're not using e-mail. Okay, we send the right email to the right person at the right time. We are able to reach the destination. We avoided spam filters. Now it's time to analyze your results. It's very important to take the time to see who clicked on what to prepare your next mailing. You see that 2 weeks ago you had a huge open rate, and now it's very low. You have to analyze why you had this bad result. Is it because of subject line? Is it because you were caught by spam filters? So take the time to check the results and prepare your next campaign. But even before that, even before clicking on send button, you can compare several newsletters, compare several subject lines. It's what we call the A/B split testing. And in e-mailing, we don't even do the A/B split testing. We do the A/B/C/E/F/G split testing, where you can set up several newsletters and just pick up 10% of your user, for example. You will send 4 newsletters to them. So e-mailing will send 1 to a different person. And after some time, like after 2 days, for example, e-mailing will check the different results and will send the most optimized version of your newsletter. It's not only one newsletter, it can be the subject and the sender information from the newsletter who has the best open rate, and we take the content from the newsletter who has the best click rate. And you have to clean your list. you have to make sure that your database, your list of users, is always clean. Because the more you have wrong email addresses, the more my clients won't like you. And at some point, if you send a lot of emails to Gmail, and Gmail say, hey, this user does not exist, this user considers you were a spammer, this user didn't open your newsletter, and this user didn't click on it, you will, your reputation will go down and down and down. So cleaning your list means when you receive a bounce email saying, hey, this email doesn't exist, you have to take it and block this user. It can be done automatically in SMailing, but even if you have 50 users, you should take the time to clean your list of users. And it's not only about bounce mailing, it's also every year I recommend you to remove all users who didn't open your newsletter at all or who didn't click on anything, who didn't have any action on the website anymore. You can send them a last message saying, hey, we didn't hear from you for a long time. Do you still want to receive our information? Yes, no. But you should, quite often, every year, once a year, clean a bit your list of users. Well, that's it. I hope you understood me. No? Okay. If you have any question about anything. Yes?
Well, I have one question. There's a big struggle. I'm a heavy user of your product, but the question is more general. Because we tend to receive more and more emails, as you said, and all of them use those fancy templates that are rather pretty. And I wonder whether it's still a good idea to try to format your emails in such a way that they look like a newsletter, or it is better to try, another approach and write it in such a way that it looks more similar to the email you would receive from someone else.
It's exactly what we did for the add-on card system. We send a message which is not a newsletter at all. It's just a text like if I wrote it myself to say, hey, do you need some help, and did you have a problem during the payment system? So it depends on the kind of emails you're sending. But right, more and more fancy design newsletter are dropped, and people are using just a short header and a text, and everything is white and clean. The big fancy design start to disappear. Yeah. Any other question?
You said about the cleaning list.
Yes.
Could it be automated using SMailing, for instance?
Yes. In our enterprise version, we have what we call automatic bounce handling. So SMailing will connect to your mailbox, check what has been received, and automatically block user who with a wrong email address. So
that's bounces, soft bounce and hard bounce. But I mean cleaning of the users that do not open, but that's not bounce.
Yes, we do have that feature as well.
Okay.
We have a mass action filters thing. So you can say, okay, all users who didn't open the message since last year, I want to block them.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Sorry for hijacking you. But speaking of the bounce rate feature that you have in the enterprise version, is it working only when you're sending it with the newsletter with your My Newsletter address, or you can make it working when you send your newsletters from different addresses? Because if you want to make those messages more personal, as in my previous question, you won't send it from newsletter at anywhere. You will send it from my name at something or the name of the person who's sending it.
So, yeah, excellent question. When you send an email, there are 3 fields to enter your address. The from, so the sender, which be the one you want. The reply to, which is the one you want as well. And the bounce address. And the bounce address is only visible for the software itself. Your user won't see it. So you can change the sender information the way you want and still keep the same bounce address.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was looking for that for ages. Thank you.
You're welcome. And in SMailing, in each newsletter you send, you can specify the sender information you want, but you won't be able to specify another bounce handling email address. So the bounce address should be just the main one for all your newsletter, and then you can change for each newsletter the sender. the one the user will actually see. Any other question? We all good? Well, thank you very much for your attention.
I'd like to have your opinion.